Hello, welcome everyone, especially to our fellows and HHCC members tuning in. My name is Marianne Delatorre, and I am the Hidden Heroes Caregiver Coordinator for the Elizabeth Dole Foundation. We are excited that you're able to join us for today's webinar series, the Caregiver Community Connections, C3, presented by the Elizabeth Dole Foundation and powered by our partners at Wounded Warrior Project. We're also very pleased to have the U.S. Department of Veteran Affairs join us as partners for this series as well. Today's C3, Maintaining Balance Online Yoga for Caregivers, will feature Ellen McKay with Yoga for Caregivers. Before we get started, I want to mention to all attendees that this session is recorded and will be available in the Guides tab on HHCC or on our website. With all of that said, we will take questions towards the end. Today's moderators, Liselle Perez-Rogers, will be hanging out in the chat box. Be sure to submit any questions using the Q&A box located in the Zoom control panel. We will be taking note of all the questions to get them answered live during our Q&A. Today, we will be selecting several winners from our webinar participants during the episode. To enter into the drawing, engage with us in the chat. Today's winners will receive a free Hidden Heroes yoga mat or an Amazon gift card. Today's C3 features closed captioning. If you would like to disable it, go to the live transcript button in the control panel and click Disable Auto Transcription. It can be disabled at any time during the webinar. Now, without further ado, please join me in welcoming Ellen as we get started. Ellen, on to you.
Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for joining me today. And really congratulations to you for showing up for yourself. So we'll go ahead and get started. I'm going to be in a chair for part of class today. You can join me in a chair if you'd like, or if you have a mat that you'd like to practice on, you can sit comfortably there. So just get nice and comfortable wherever you are. If you're in a chair, you can lean back a little bit. Just allow those shoulders to maybe move around for a moment and then let them just soften down. Hands can rest on the legs, however it feels good for the body. Maybe those feet are about hip distance, just kind of relaxing the legs, maybe noticing the muscles in the face, the eyes, and the jaw. And let's take one nice big breath in together, in through the nose if you'd like, and then exhale it through the mouth. Good, let's do it again, in through the nose, and then out the mouth. Just let it go. Great. You can close your eyes here if you choose. And we'll just take a few breaths of transition. So sometimes it's hard to move from being very active, or maybe you're completing a lot of tasks, to moving in to a time of self-care, whatever that means for you. And today we'll just be practicing some yoga, some breathing techniques, some movement practice. But whenever you're making that transition, allow yourself a few breaths to kind of set aside what you were just doing and moving into what's happening right here, right now. You can continue to breathe in and out through the nose if that feels good for you. Always feel free to change the breath to a pace that works for you today. Take a few more rounds here, just breathing in and out. Maybe one more breath here. Good. As you continue to take those inhales and exhales, let's check in with the body and see how the body is feeling today. So maybe starting from the soles of the feet and slowly working your way up. You can notice the toes, the feet, notice the bottoms of the feet and what they're connecting to. Maybe it's socks, shoes, maybe it's the floor, a yoga mat. And then bringing that awareness upwards through the lower legs, knees, thighs, hips, all the way up the back. So low back, mid back, upper back, up through the front of the torso, through the belly, chest, shoulders. Check in through the arms, all the way down to the wrists and hands, all the way down to the tips of the fingers. And then notice neck, head, and all the muscles in the face. Let's take a couple more ha breaths together. In through the nose, and then out through the mouth. And again, in through the nose, and out through the mouth. Very nice. The eyes are closed, slowly begin to blink them open. And we'll come a little more upright. So if you're leaning back against the chair, let's scoot a little bit forward, keeping the feet again about hip distance. Palms can connect to the legs. If you're seated on a mat, notice if you can get nice and tall. So feel the top of the head lifting up towards the ceiling. And we'll just start with a little bit of movement for the shoulders. Shoulders roll up and back. So getting some movement in the shoulders can feel really good for the body. We have a tendency to kind of round forward sometimes. So just getting that little movement there can start to open up that space. Also, shoulders is one of the main areas where we tend to hold tension, kind of squeezing and holding everything in here. So another couple rounds of that movement up, back, and down. Good. Let's give the hands a shake. And then shake through the arms. Good. And let the hands back down to the legs. Inhale, arms reach up. And maybe take up all the space you can. Really feel that big reach out and up. Exhale, we're going to bring those hands all the way back down. Reach it down. Maybe you can feel like you're pressing those hands down. Let's do it again. Inhale, reach out and up, getting some movement through those shoulder spaces, through the arms and back. Good. Press it down. Let's do it again. Up. And then bring the hands together in prayer. Palms meet each other. And maybe even clasp the hands together or set one hand on top of the other at the center of the chest. And again, you can close the eyes. Take a moment to feel that breath. You might even feel the chest kind of rise up towards the hands as you take those inhales and exhales. Sometimes it's helpful as we move into a practice of self-care, whatever it is, if we can have an intention for this time, whether it's 2 minutes, 10 minutes, 20 minutes, a luxurious hour. So if you like, you can set an intention, and maybe that's just a simple word or a phrase: peace, calm, focus, strength. Breathing that word or phrase in. Connecting to what that phrase means for you today in this moment. One more breath. Very nice. Bring the hands down again to the legs. We're going to slowly bring the chin to the chest and just start with some slow movement. Head going from side to side. Feeling a bit of a stretch here in the neck. Shoulders, maybe even all the way up towards the jaw. Good. Let's do 2 more times each side. Wonderful. Next time the head comes to the right, let's take a little pause there. Your left hand can either reach down towards the floor. If you're sitting in a chair, maybe you hold onto the seat or the side of the chair and just feel that stretch along the left side, allowing that left shoulder to drop down slightly. Full breaths here. Very nice. One more breath. Good. Head slowly comes back to center, and we'll take it to the other side. Same options here. Right hand can reach down towards the floor, or maybe you hold onto the chair if you're seated. Two more breaths. Breathing in through that right side. Feeling any tension just melt away, bringing in that relaxation. Head comes back to the center and all the way up. Let's get those nice shoulder rolls in again. Up, back, and down. Good. Maybe let's switch directions. So bring them forward, getting into that mid back or shoulder space. Good. One more time. Up and back. Great. We're going to move into some cat and cow movements. So we're going to take the pelvis. I'm going to turn a little bit here. We're going to take the pelvis and kind of tilt it forward, lift the chest up slightly, maybe a little look up, and then exhale, round the spine. Good. Let's move in and out of that a few times. Tilting forward, opening up through that front of the body. Exhale, tilting back, opening up through that back body. 3 more to go. Good. Nice and round. 1 more time. And round. We're going to come back to that shape a few more times throughout our practice today. Let's take the shoulders now and squeeze them up towards the ears. Get a good little squeeze and then just let them drop. Let gravity do the work there. Inhale, bring them up. Exhale, let them drop. And again, inhale, bring them up. Exhale, let them drop. Good. We're going to go back to that cat and cow movement. We're going to move the arms as well. So take the arms out to the sides, kind of out wide like a T. And as you inhale and lift that chest, we're going to send the elbows down and back. So opening a little bit more through that chest, shoulder, arm space. And then as you exhale, we're going to round forward, almost like you're getting ready to dive into a pool. We're going to round. Good. Like you're getting a beach ball, a big hug here. And then open it up again. Feel those elbows drop down, shoulders drop, open up through the chest. Nice. Again, round it. And open it. Great, round it. 1 more time. Open it up. And round it. And come back to center. Another nice shoulder roll or 2. Inhale, reach those arms out and up. We're going to take the right hand down either to the mat or the side of the chair. Left arm reaches up and over. So really press that either left hip down to the seat or left heel down to the floor, feeling that nice big stretch all along that left side. Bring it back to center. We'll switch. Take that right arm up and move to the left. Anchoring down through right hip, right heel. Holding on with that left hand if you'd like. 1 more breath. Good. Bring it back to center. Let's take the hands back up. So this time we're going to push and round, pull it back, little squeeze into those back muscles, push and round. Inhale, bring it back and squeeze a little. Good. Again, push and round. And bring it back. 1 more time to push. And bring it back. Hands rest down. Roll those shoulders up and back. All right, we're going to move into a few twists. Let's just start with some gentle twisting. So you can take the right hand over to the right side, give it a gentle little twist, kind of looking to the right, and then switching it out. Just go side to side a few times, kind of introducing this movement into the torso, into the spine, side to side. Good. Nice, bring it back to center. We're gonna take those palms up facing forward, and you're gonna press one hand forward, doesn't matter which one, and pull the other hand back. So we're twisting again. Keep those feet or sits bones anchored to the floor or the mat, and then bring it back to center and twist. So we're using those back muscles, we're using those core stabilizer muscles to twist and move, getting some stretch and strengthening in at the same time. Good. 1 more time each side. This time we're going to push that hand away and then maybe come into a twist. So you can take that left hand, cross it over the right. Right hand can either come down to the mat or to the chair, lift up nice and tall. Exhale, find your twist. Keep that breath going, nice and steady. Good. 1 more. And then bring it back to center. Now let's push the other direction. So other hand pushes forward, opposite hand pulls back. 1 more pause of breath here. And then we'll move into that twist. Maybe right hand crosses over to the left. That left hand can either hold onto the chair, reach down towards the mat. You choose. Full breaths. Good. 2 more here. And again. Good. And back to center. Great. Let's get a little movement for the legs. So if you're seated on the mat, bring your feet out in front of you, knees bent. If you're in the chair, kind of scoot a little forward so you've got some room here. And you can take the hands and lean back. You can lean onto the chair, and we're just going to rock those knees side to side. Get a little internal and external rotation of the hip joint. Moving those legs a bit. Good. One more each side. And bring it back to center. We're going to keep the feet wide. Adding in that cat and cow movement again. So feeling that pelvis tilt, leaning a little forward, exhale, round. Forward, good. And back, one more time. Forward and back. Keeping those feet a little bit wider than hips. Bring the hands to the heart. So maybe again, you bring the right hand to the heart, left hand on top. You can also clasp those hands together. Let's pause, close the eyes for a moment if you choose, and remind yourself of your intention. Feel again the breath moving in the body. Maybe the chest rising to meet the hands. Breathing in that word or phrase. Very nice. Exhale, release the hands. Blink the eyes open. If they're closed, we'll roll those shoulders back again. Good. If it feels okay, take the forearms down towards the thighs. So if you're seated on the floor or on a mat, you can take those legs wide and start to add a little tilt forward. We're going to take a bit of a twist here. So maybe that hand rests on the thigh or the forearm rests on the thigh. We're going to sweep that right arm out to the side and maybe up, get a little bit of a stretch. And then bring that right hand down. We'll do the same on the other side. So that left hand can reach out and maybe a little up. Good, take up all that space, bring it back down. Let's do it one more time each side. Right arm sweeps out and up. And bring it back to center. And one more time on the left, open it out. Good, bring it back to center. Come all the way back up. Bring those feet again back to about hip distance, or if you're seated, you can cross the legs again if that feels better. Let's clasp the hands together. Bring the hands to the heart center, so right in the center of the chest. Maybe again, you pause, remind yourself of your intention, feel that breath. We'll do another round of those cat and cow movements with movement of the arm as well. So on the inhale, feel the chest rise up, hands connect to the chest. Exhale, you're going to turn those palms to face away from you and press away as you round the spine. Inhale, you'll bring it back, feel that chest lift, meet the hands. Exhale, round and press away. Good. A few more to go, just like that. Inhale to lift, exhale, press it away. Again, inhale, lift. And exhale, press it away. Good. Bring it back to center, roll those shoulders up and back. Great. Let's get a little more movement for the legs. So if you want to stay in the chair, I'm going to give you some options for that as well, but I'm going to come to stand. And as you come to stand, if you feel more stable using a chair, feel free to have it nearby. I'm going to turn it to face away from me for the moment. And we're going to come to a forward fold. Lots of different options here. Feet are going to be about hip distance. Hands can come to the chair at any height, or if it feels okay, you can step away from the chair, hands to the thighs, shins. You can even use a yoga block here. Maybe that chair feels really nice and supportive. But we're going to take a couple breaths. Head is nice and heavy, shoulders relaxed. Breath is calm and still. Good. Just moving slowly. One more breath here. Bend the knees, hands can come to the thighs of the chair, press into those feet, rise all the way up. Maybe you even take those arms out and up, nice big stretch. Exhale, bring those hands back down by the sides. We're gonna come into, it's called Warrior One in yoga, and I'm gonna take my right foot forward and my left foot back. So again, there's lots of options here. Left toes can be tucked under. You can bring the heel down, whatever feels more stable, more comfortable for you today. You can always use the hands on the chair here or a wall, or maybe hands come either in prayer or to the side. So we're finding some balance here. Seeing if we can press firmly into those feet as we lift up through that heart and head. Maybe even arms rise. And really feel that inner strength. Feel that endurance that you have in yourself, especially as caregivers. You work very hard and you endure through a lot. So feeling that strength, feeling that power, maybe even reminding yourself of that intention, and then take those hands down, maybe come to the chair. We'll switch out sides. Left foot forward, right foot back. Again, maybe toes tuck under or that heel comes down. If you're seated in a chair, just stretch maybe that one leg back a little bit, opening up through that hip flexor and the front of the thigh, finding a position for the hands. Whatever works on this side might be a little different than the first side. And again, find your strength. Feel like you're breathing in that strength from the feet all the way up the body, so that upper body can open. Nice full breaths. Good, 2 more to go. Breathe, breathe, breathe. Wonderful. Release those hands back down. Step that back foot forward. Let's give the body a little shake. Just shake out those legs, shake out those hands, arms. Let's take the feet wide. So again, maybe you're seated. Take the feet a little bit wider. We're going to turn one toe out and one foot in. So it doesn't really matter which one. We're going to do both. The one that the toes are turned out, go ahead and bend the knee. Reach those arms out. Good. If you feel nice and steady here and you want to add a little arm movement, we'll gently bring that back hand down, front hand lifts, and then we'll switch it. So front hand comes down, back hand lifts. Just side to side, kind of getting some freedom and movement in that upper body as we feel that strength and power from the lower body. Good. Wonderful job. You got it. One more time. And then bring it back to center. Straighten that bent knee, turn the toes towards the long side of the mat. Roll the shoulders up and back a couple times. Good. Take those arms out wide. We're going to exhale, round. And then inhale. Feel those elbows drop back, chest lifts. Good. Again, round. And open it up. One more time. Round. And open it up. Great. Release the arms down. Now let's switch it out. So whatever toes turned out, switch that foot. Bend the knee. Find that stability and strength. Always feel free to use chair or the wall. Reach those arms out. Good. Then we'll have that same movement if you like. Upper body. Back hand drops down as that front hand lifts. And then switch it out. Front hand comes down, back hand lifts. Good. A couple more. Move at your own pace. And switch it out. Good. Nice. Last time here, lifting up that back arm. Bring it back to center. Straighten that leg, turn those toes again towards the front of the mat. Bring the hands to the hips, and we're going to do a wide-legged forward fold. So again, if you want to use that chair, maybe turn to face the chair, or you can start to fold forward. Knees are a little bent. Hands can come to thighs, maybe to the shins, finding that stretch here for the backs of the legs. Good stretch for that back body. 2 more to go. And then bend into the knees, press into the heels. Hands can come to the thighs of the chair. Find your way all the way back up. Roll the shoulders up and back. Great. Slowly walk your feet in together. And again, we'll give it a little shake. So shake out hands, legs, feet, arms, all that. Okay, let's move into some balance. I think balance is just a really great thing to practice for a few different reasons. When we're trying to practice balance, it's really hard for us to think about other things. So it's a great way to remind us of presence, being right here, right now. And also balance is one of the things that can sometimes be the most challenging when we first start having a yoga practice, but it's usually the thing that kind of improves the quickest. So it can be a great reminder of our own inner strength and our own ability to change, and grow. So let's take the weight over to the right foot. Left toes are going to touch. Use chair or wall for some extra balance. So notice how sometimes that kind of standing leg hip wants to pop out to the side. You press that heel down, helps to hug that hip in, creating lots of stability here on that right side. Left toes can stay on the mat, heel can be touching that ankle, or if you want, maybe you take it up towards the calf. You can even take it above the knee if that feels okay for you too, but it's all about what works in your body today. Hands can stay on something supportive. Maybe they come in prayer, maybe they're to the side. Let's take 2 more breaths wherever you choose to be. Great, let's switch it out. Give it a little shake and we'll try it on the left-hand side. So left foot comes down, right toes touch. Again, check in with that hip, press down through the heel, turn that right knee out. Good, find your positioning for arms and foot, and breathe. Nice. 2 more breaths right here, right now. And release. Good, give another little shake. We're going to do another round of these tree poses or these balancing practices. And I'm going to add a little something if you choose. So again, same options here. Foot can be anywhere you'd like, just not kind of leaning on that knee. So we want to keep the knee joint nice and happy. Firm standing leg on that right side. Hands can go wherever. If you want to work a little bit more on balance, you can practice maybe sweeping those arms out and up, and then bringing the hands down in front. So we have, again, that strong, steady base and some freedom in the upper body. So from strength, we can create some sense of freedom. Very nice. Tap that toe down anytime you need to. 1 more round. Good. Let's switch it out. Try it on the left side. Same things here. Any variation you choose. And if you'd like to try moving the arms here, remember one side's going to be different than the other. Give it a try. Inhale, you can sweep those arms out. If you want to connect breath and movement, maybe exhale, hands come down in front of the heart. Good. Again, strong through that standing leg. Good. This is definitely a very challenging balancing pose, moving that upper body. Good. Let's do 1 more breath wherever you are. And slowly releasing all the way down. Great. Give those legs a shake, arms a shake. Roll the shoulders up and back. Great, and we're going to come back to the seat. So whether you're in a chair or on the mat, find your way down. Again, we'll be a little bit off from the back of the chair. Inhale, sweeping those arms out and up. And as you exhale, maybe take those arms down and slide them behind the hips slightly. So we're getting a little bit of external and internal rotation for the shoulder joint. Turn those palms down and behind. Good. So that's internally rotating the arms. And then you turn those palms out and up. It's externally rotating. Good. Working on that mobility, range of motion. Nice. Next time, bring those arms down. And if you want, we're going to take that left hand and either bring it to the low back, to the hip, maybe even to the side of the chair or just the side of the hip. And we'll take the head down to the right side. So find another stretch here for that left neck, left shoulder, and chest. Two more breaths on this side. And then gently bring the head back to center. Release that left arm. Inhale, sweep the arms up. And then take those hands back down. Let's try the right side. So again, anywhere you like, maybe hand comes next to the hip, maybe it slides a little behind, whatever works for the shoulder, no pinching or pulling kind of pain. Just feeling a stretch for this right side. Head drops gently to the left. And breathe. Good, 2 more to go. And then release that right arm, bring the head back again to center, all the way up, roll the shoulders up and back. Good. Let's add another twist. Inhale, reach the arms up. We're gonna twist to the right. Right hand can come down to the side, maybe it holds on to the chair. Left hand can come to the left leg or cross over. Lift up really tall wherever you are and find your twist. Good. Slowly unwind. Let's lift those arms back up and we'll go to the other side. Breathe. Nice. Good. Unwind, come back to center, take those arms out wide. Give yourself a nice big hug and try and bring your right arm on top. Then you can even move around a little bit here, kind of stretching through that mid back, upper back space. Spread those arms out wide. And now left arm comes on top, another big hug. And again, maybe some movement of your own. Good. Release, come back to center. If you're seated on the floor, you're going to bring the soles of the feet together. If you're seated in a chair, see if you can bring that one ankle to your left ankle to your right thigh. No pulling or pinching pain in the knee. Knee can definitely be bent, doesn't have to be dropped down low. And wherever you are, we're just going to tilt forward and back a little bit. Feeling a bit of a stretch there through hip, maybe inner thigh. Nice. We worked on strengthening those areas. So we'll give them a little stretch too. If you'd like to take a pause, you can, or maybe that rocking feels really nice. One more breath. Good, bring it back up. If you're seated in a chair, go ahead and switch. If you're on the mat, keep those feet together. And again, we'll start with a little bit of a rock side, front to back. Good. Keep it going. Any discomfort in this knee, you can always flex the foot. That'll be option 1. If it just doesn't feel right, you can always take that ankle, cross it down in front to the other. Good, we got about 2 more breaths here. So maybe you take a pause if you choose. Great, bring it all the way back up to center. Now I'm getting nice and comfy. So if you're in a chair, you can lean back. If you're seated on a mat, you can stay seated, or maybe you choose to lie down. Completely up to you. Take a couple breaths just to make sure that you're comfy where you are. You can move those shoulders around. Maybe the palms face up towards the ceiling. Maybe you take those feet a little wider than the knees or the hips. Eyes can close. Remind yourself of your intention that you might have set at the beginning of class today. Reminding yourself of that inner strength, that inner power. And if you'd like, as you settle in here, you can repeat this mantra with me, whether silently in the mind or speaking it out loud. I can choose myself, even if life gets challenging. I can choose myself, even if life gets challenging. Again, I can choose myself, even if life gets challenging. Noticing how those words make the body feel, make the mind and the heart feel. Coming into that space of awareness and breath. A few more rounds of breath here. Whenever the mind wanders, maybe you come back to that word or phrase, that intention that you created for yourself today. Beginning to bring some movement back to the body, maybe fingers or toes start to wiggle a little. Eyes can begin to blink open. If you're laying down on the mat, you can roll to one side and in your own time, come up to an upright position. If you're in the chair, maybe begin to lift up off the back of the seat, getting nice and tall. Inhale, we can reach those arms out and up. Take a nice full breath. Exhale, bring those palms together in prayer in front of the heart. Thank you all so much for joining me today. Thank you for taking time out for yourself, for your self-care, and to just find some peace in your day. Thank you again.
Thank you so much, Ellen, for that wonderful, relaxing session. We move on to Q&A now. We actually received several questions. So first off, what is the proper way to breathe?
That's a great question. And I think sometimes people get a little caught up in the breathing directions that they hear in yoga classes. They feel like they have to breathe however the teacher is saying. And really, it's really about breathing at your own pace, breathing at a pace that feels really relaxing to you, because the majority of the point of yoga is to help relax you, right? So if the pace that a teacher is going feels a little too fast or a little too slow, always feel free to change that up and make it more of your own. Traditionally in yoga, we tend to inhale on an opening of a posture, an opening of the body, and we exhale on a closing. So when we were doing those cat and cow movements, we inhale on that open, just kind of feels a little bit more natural as you open up through the lungs and the chest. We take a big breath in, and then as you exhale and kind of hug the belly in, we round and close. So that's kind of where those cues come from. But as always, it's up to you and it's up to what feels best for you that day.
You're right. And if I'm being honest with you, I forget to breathe a lot, especially when I'm doing yoga. So there are always those reminders, especially when I'm holding poses. I'll recognize myself and I'll be like, okay, Marianne, you need to breathe. So those are really great reminders for us when we're practicing yoga, and even, in our daily lives when the stress gets to us.
Yes. Yeah. And I think that's such a good thing that yoga can kind of teach you to take off of the mat, is to notice if you're breathing, if you're taking kind of more of those shallow breaths. Can you take a nice sigh and just let it out for a moment and then get back to whatever it is that you were doing? So very similar. And that's such a common thing that I hear all the time and experience myself. I'm like, oh wait, I'm holding my breath. I need to take a nice big breath in and out. And that's usually where my cues come from, because I might notice myself holding my breath. So just reminding everybody to do it.
Yes, that's great. Next question. So with everyone having their New Year's resolution, of course, everyone is thinking about weight loss and trying to be more healthy, trying to be healthier. So my question for you is around hot yoga. What are the benefits of hot yoga, and do you believe it is effective for weight loss?
Well, I think any kind of stress reduction can help in weight loss, because a lot of the hormones that come along with stress also kind of encourage weight gain and just kind of us holding on to all of that. So any kind of stress relief can be helpful in that arena. As far as hot yoga, it's great to help with flexibility. Sometimes some people feel like the warmth in the room can kind of help your body move a little bit more easily, kind of get into that stretch feeling a little bit more. Obviously, if heat doesn't feel good for you, then just do yoga at a regular temperature. So I think really it's finding what works for you and what you consistently want to keep doing. I think that's really where we find a more healthier self, is connecting to what feels good to us and what feels beneficial to us, because it might be completely different than the person standing next to you. And we want to keep up those healthy habits. So whatever it is that works for you is the answer.
Yes, that's a great answer. Just given the fact that we think that exercise is a one size fits all, and it's not, right? And we all have different body types, and we need to self-love ourselves into thinking what works best for us. So I love that answer. I also have another question here. So it reads, what's the best yoga movements to do before bed to help rest and ease the body and mind?
Great question. So as the body prepares for sleep, we want to relax it. So we want to find poses that are more relaxing, especially ones that we can breathe deeper in. So maybe not a fast-paced class, maybe something that you hold the stretches a little longer, and you can kind of take your time. You can take your time through transitioning. You can find that deeper breath. There are a lot of great yoga poses that you can do in bed, just to kind of work out any kinks that are still left in your body, release some of that tension, hugging the knees into the chest, whether it's one knee at a time or both knees together. That can give the low back a nice stretch and release at the end of the day, especially if you've been doing a lot of bending, picking up, sitting at a chair, even overhead stretches, taking the arms out to the sides. All of that can be really great for opening up the chest, because again, we have that tendency to kind of round forward as we work on computers or whatever it is that we're doing. That's just kind of gravity working with our bodies here. So we can take that time to open up and stretch, get a little stretch for the legs, for the back, maybe a gentle twist. That would be really helpful for the body to kind of ease into that sleep.
Very good answer, and very helpful for me, because I actually have insomnia, so I will try these exercises before bed. And we'll move on to our next question here. For those wanting to introduce their kids to yoga or hidden helpers, what are some exercises you recommend?
That's another good question. And because yoga is so great at kind of meeting you where you are, kids can always join in. And there's a lot of fun ways to have the same movements that we do, like we did in class today, and think about different kinds of shapes. So like a star shape, maybe we're going to be a star for now. Maybe we're going to play a little balance game with being a tree. With my kids, whenever they're feeling stressed or upset, I've taught them the blowing out a candle breath. So almost all kids know how to blow out a candle, or they've seen it before. So you take a big breath in and you breathe it out like you're blowing out a candle. And that's a really great way to help them regulate their breath, take those longer inhales and exhales, which just reminds their system that everything's okay. We can calm down, we can relax. So that blowing out the candle breath is used often in my house.
I love that. And then this is our last question. In the spirit of Valentine's Day, we will be talking more about self-love on HHCC and how it's a lifelong journey. What does self-love mean for you, and how is yoga incorporated in your journey?
That's a really wonderful question, especially for this time of year and especially for caregivers. So I've noticed as a caregiver myself and in other caregivers that we always want to love others and give the love that we have out and share it and spread it around. And I think when that happens over and over and over again, we kind of lose ourselves. We lose the awareness of what it is that feels good to me, what it is that I like, or what feels relaxing to me. And can I take a little bit of time? Again, maybe it's 2 minutes, maybe it's 5 minutes. So I think self-love is awareness, because we can so easily put ourselves at the bottom of the list that we prioritize everything else and kind of just forget about ourselves. So I think just being aware of that, and am I doing that? Can I take a pause and find something that will fill me up for a couple minutes today? I think really self-love is awareness. And in the practice of yoga, that's really what we're doing the whole time. We're trying to keep reminding ourselves, how is my body feeling now? How is my breath feeling? Where are my thoughts in my mind? You know, it's just really a practice of coming back, coming back, coming back.
I love that answer. Ellen, thank you so much for answering Q&A. And in the spirit of self-love, we want to thank our caregivers who took the time to do yoga today and really take this moment for themselves. So now I move forward to announcing our giveaway winners. So congratulations to our giveaway winners. Please email us directly at events@elizabethdolefoundation.org with a good mailing address, and we will get those prizes to you. The email will be posted over on the chat. So congratulations, Carrie Cardenas, Anita Grady, Paula Del Ponte, Jennifer Japak. So please, again, email your address to us at events@elizabethdolefoundation.org. Ellen, is there anything else you want to cover before we wrap up?
I don't think so. I'm so grateful to always be here with you all. And especially thank you to all of you caregivers that took time out for yourselves today. Good job.
Yes. So if you're not already registered with HHCC, we encourage you to join our Facebook group for updates. Our group is an inclusive community for military and veteran caregivers of all service eras. If you care for a wounded, ill, or injured service member or veteran, we would love to welcome you into our community. Visit hiddenheroes.org/register to get started. Also, be on the lookout for a follow-up email from us that will include the recording of today's webinar, Ellen's resources and organization info, and the link to register with Hidden Heroes. Please also don't forget to register for next month's session on Tuesday, March 8th. Registration is required for each month's Maintaining Balance yoga session. To register, visit hiddenheroes.org/C3, and the link will also be here on the chat. Also, as a military or veteran spouse, child, parent, or friend, we know that your days are packed with responsibilities. That's why we launched Respite Relief for military and veteran caregivers, which offers family caregivers of veterans or service members access to free short-term relief with the help of in-home care professionals. Please connect with us and take advantage of this free opportunity. Lastly, we hope you'll join us at the Elizabeth Dole Foundation, U.S. Department of Veteran Affairs, and Phillips for a #Spotlight series focused on military toxic exposure. Dr. Patricia Hastings and experts from the VA will be shining a light on environmental hazards, addressing what actions the VA is taking, and answering pressing questions. Sign up today to join on February 15th at the bit.ly/toxic exposures link, and it will be over there on the chat. Once again, thank you so much, everyone, for taking a moment to join us today, and a huge thanks to our partners at Wounded Warrior Project and the U.S. Department of Veteran Affairs for supporting our C3 series. We hope you enjoyed today's C3, and we wish you a very prosperous year ahead filled with self-love. Thanks, everyone. Have a wonderful day.